F is for friends who do stuff together. U is for you and me. N is for anywhere and anytime at all down here in the deep blue sea. But enough with the song and on to the unboxing for none other than SpongeBob SquarePants, Battle for Bikini Bottom, Rehydrated. This is amongst one of the two collector's editions to launch alongside the remake of the 2003 original. Aside from the keychain tikis, there are two additional statues for Patrick and Sandy respectively. Nonetheless, I would assume you're here for the unboxing, so I'll go ahead and get on with it. Alright, so as you can see up top, we have the same thing, or the game's logo. And so, we're going to go ahead and get with what, wow, this is actually a lot more stuff than I would have imagined. But, here, we'll start off with the game's case. Or, well, I'm pretty sure you guys already had enough of that already. But as you can see, we have the game's case. It's more or less similar to what we had on the front of the F.U.N edition box. Not essentially anything different aside from it not being as wide and there's a little less going on in the background. And on the back, we have it saying, "Are you ready, kids? The cult classic is back. Faithfully remade in spuntastic splendor. Play as SpongeBob, Patrick, Sandy, and show the evil Plankton that crime pays even less than Mr. Krabs. Want to save Bikini Bottom from lots of rampant robots with your mighty bubbles? Of course you do. Want to underpants bungee jump? Why wouldn't you? Want to join forces in a brand new multiplayer mode? The battle is on." You know, I actually forgot that there was a multiplayer mode. I'm kind of really just buying this for playing a classic at that, not essentially anything else. But we're going to go ahead and move on to other stuff in here. So we'll go with this next, since this is essentially something that I wouldn't have as much use for. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't like wearing socks, but these are some pretty long socks. They are, I would assume that from the various collectibles you have in the game, it's perhaps the socks that you find for Patrick. I mean, I'm sure it's a one-size-fit-all type of thing. As you can see, it says Bikini Bottom up there, and I mean, it's not bad. They feel like they could be very comfortable to wear, but I prefer socks that end at the ankle, not go up past that. I feel a little uncomfortable wearing socks like that and such. So we'll go ahead and move that onto the side. So we're done with that. We'll go ahead and go with these art prints that come with the game. So let me go ahead and open this so we can see how they look. Jeez, okay. Well, okay, that was actually very easy to get out, so we'll start off with this one. It is Goo Lagoon. It is the beach that SpongeBob frequents a lot in the show, and it's also, I believe it is the third level in the entire game, unless if we're counting the Bikini Bottom as one level in its own, but if we're not, then this would technically be the third level in the entire game. Moving on, we also have another one that's also in Goo Lagoon. It's the part when you're in the cave and the water can rise and also go back down to how it was. As you can see, we have SpongeGar on the wall. That's actually something that wasn't in the original, because I don't think the SpongeBob BC, or as they like to call it before, comedy episode was even out by then. So that's a pretty interesting one. This one is, I would believe that this one is the cave that is in Jellyfish Fields when you're playing as Patrick, because it has the sign that you have to throw the watermelons at, if I'm not mistaken. I think I do remember this from the original. And then we have Rock Bottom If any of you guys seen that episode, you would get that reference, but I'm not going to talk in this whole unboxing like that. But here's Rock Bottom. It was amongst one of the harder levels for me as a kid. It's probably because I didn't know that you could sneak up on I think they were called the Nighty Night robots. I'm not entirely sure, but I think that's what they were called. And here we have Sand Mountain. And yes, that is the same Sand Mountain that SpongeBob broke his bottom on in one of the episodes. I guess he should have used his other bottom, if it were even possible. And here we have yet another one, but this one is for downtown, which is, this one is actually amongst one of my favorite levels in the entire game, or at least in the original when it comes down to it. I honestly love the platforming in this one, especially considering you could play as Sandy in this level, and Sandy kind of makes the platforming all the more worth, like, exploring because she can glide and all that. So there we have the art prints. And moving on into other things, we have these stickers. So we have some stickers. I'm not essentially sure what I'm going to do with these, but I will just show these off. I'm not essentially going to go all into depth about some stickers. I mean, I don't think stickers really need much of an explanation. Or at least not really, anyway. So yeah, we have some really nice stickers there. We just have the game's logo, as well as the first robot you ever interact with, and SpongeBob and Patrick, and I guess the clouds. I think that that's what they called them. They looked like flowers. Actually, yeah, they were clouds. And just some more stuff. We get our other playable character and some of the other robots, and a tiki and SpongeBob's pineapple. And oh, cool. Moving on, we're actually getting stuff that drawings from the show. So these are all from the show. These aren't from the game at all, but that's pretty good. Even some more artwork, probably ones that came on later on in the SpongeBob life cycle, although it's not even over yet. I believe the show's still going on. I haven't watched it in years. It's just that I kind of don't like the newer episodes as much as I like the older ones. But yeah, moving on, we got some more SpongeBob goodness. Golden spatula, that's like the main collectible in the game outside of the socks. And some more stuff. And even more artwork. Or artwork stickers. It's not too bad. Actually looks really nice. And then I think this was just a thing to hold it together, so nothing too big there. It's just some stickers. I mean, honestly, I think I'd rather just give that to someone. So we are moving on into bigger and better things, and this is something that's actually exclusive to the Fun Edition that wasn't in the Shiny Edition. So we're going to go ahead and move on to these Tiki keychains. So here we have keychains of all the Tikis. I'm not going to take these out because it's probably going to be a little hard to put them in. I mean, I may put one of these on my keychain. I don't know which one, but from what I remember, this was like the standard one that you could just hit regardless. This one you had to sneak up on. This one floated in the air, so you had to hit it from the bottom. This one exploded, so you would have to be very cautious when hitting it, or you would just have to like set it off for it to like start the countdown. And this one couldn't take any damage, or you couldn't destroy it unless if you use SpongeBob's like bubble wand power or missile bubble or whatever it was, or if you use these to like explode it. So we have those there, and we are going to go ahead and move on to the statues. I'm probably going to move this box to the ground. So let me do that, and I will start off with... We'll start off with Patrick, since he's the easiest... He seems like the easiest one I can get out at the moment.
So as we can see here, they all come in their own box. I actually think that's actually very unique that they put them in their own box. So if I ever wanted to keep the boxes for this collector's edition like how I normally do, I could really just keep the boxes that the statues come in. That's actually probably what I'm going to do anyway. Also get some nice SpongeBob art in the back there. So let's see here. How am I going to take this out? Okay, I actually can't believe that came out as good as it did. That's actually perhaps one of the more slickest statues I've ever taken out. Okay, so try not to break this. Is this taped? No, I don't think it is. Okay. Oh, okay. It's just really put in there, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so there we have the Patrick statue. That's actually a very good looking statue. I will go ahead and rotate that. As you can see, it has him holding the watermelons that he can pick up throughout the game and throw them at various enemies as well as targets. We get a nice little... It's actually a welly made statue. This is probably amongst one of the better ones, and as you can see, his socks are on the ground. The other collectibles you can find throughout the game, or one of the various collectibles. I say various, yet there's only two, or there's actually really only three collectibles, that being the golden spatulas, the socks, and those little shiny things that come from the tikis. But that's pretty much Patrick's statue. I think it's a very unique statue. So we'll go ahead and go to Sandy next. Even though SpongeBob was next in line, we'll go with Sandy next, since she's kind of more of, well, okay, I'd rather save SpongeBob for last. Even though don't get me wrong, I love Sandy, but when it comes down to it, I think SpongeBob has the better statue when it comes down to it. So we have yet another statue. This time it being of the squirrel from Texas. Okay, so taking that into account, jeez, man, they really wanted to take care of this. I actually do appreciate how much they would take care of that for a statue. So, as you can see here, we have Sandy with her lasso, and she's also riding on the clam that she rides down when you go down the, I don't know how to explain it. I'll just say when you go down a hill, or you slide down a hill, that's actually a better way, especially considering we have the Sand Mountain level. But as you can see, there's Sandy on her clam, or the top of the clam, or bottom, or of the shell. There we go. So as you can see, it's actually very nice. You can see the bubbles from how fast she's going. And moving on, you can see a tiki, amongst one of the various tikis that you can destroy throughout the game to get shiny objects and whatnot. And moving on into that, we have some very interesting stuff there. So yeah, I think that's I actually think that's a very unique looking statue. I like it. So I'm going to move that one behind. I'm going to move that one right behind Patrick. And so we'll go ahead and get SpongeBob out. Yet another one that we are taking out. Wow, this one was actually a lot easier to take out than the other ones. I'm actually a little surprised by that. Alright, so I'm going to put that to the side. And as you can see, his golden... Actually, okay, here, let me pop that top up. Okay, let me do that. And then let me pop this part out. Oh jeez, is that going to rip it? I think it will. Okay, no it's not. Actually, I think I see how this stuff works now. It took me a sec to realize how to open this, but here we have... Oh wow, that's actually very flabby. We have our golden spatula. And moving on into it. We have... Moving on into it, we have SpongeBob and his flabby tongue. Oh, it's like he's doing a victory screech. Victory screech! Oh! That's what it seems like he's trying to do. I'm trying to get this through here. So it actually looks like how it looked in the... There we go. So it looks like how it looked in the actual image. I don't essentially know if that's how it looked completely, but as you can see, we have SpongeBob getting ready to do his victory screech, as we also see Gary a little confused in what's going on. It's maybe because they're on a robot head or something. But as you can see, SpongeBob standing on a robot, and Gary just dangling barely on it, or actually mostly on it, and I'm not essentially sure what the bubbles come from. Maybe SpongeBob just jumped up, or maybe they just want to give the illusion that he's actually underwater. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, fairly well made statue. Overall, I think it's actually really nice. So here we have one of SpongeBob. We have one of Patrick. And we also have one of Sandy. The three protagonists that you play throughout the course of the game. We also have these tiki keychains, these socks, these, these stickers, these art prints, and of course the game. I think overall, for the price that it was that this was put at, I think this is a fairly good bundle. Even if the game isn't $60 initially, it is a good, I think it's $30 or $40 altogether. I think it's actually I'm actually a bit more surprised by the statues. I wasn't essentially expecting them to be this good, because most of the collector's editions I buy, the statues, for whatever price I get them for, it's kind of like I got what I paid for, in the sense that they're not essentially as good as they could have been. Like that Spider-Man one I bought a couple of years ago, like what he was standing on was good, but Spider-Man himself didn't essentially look that great. But this one altogether, like they all look great. Like what they're on and how they look is altogether great. I mean, it has keychains that I'll probably use. I'm not essentially too sure what I'm going to do with the stickers. Who knows, I'm probably not even going to use those. I really don't put stickers on anything. The game, obviously I'm going to play that. I mean, that was a childhood favorite. And I did like SpongeBob a lot as a kid, so that was one of the main reasons why I got this edition specifically. Even if I don't essentially watch the show as much as I used to, I will still watch, like, up until the first one, until it reaches its first 100th episode, because I think that's when the series was at its prime, and it kind of went a little downhill afterwards. I mean, I don't know how it is now, because I haven't watched it in a couple years, but, I mean, I would believe it's not essentially as good as it was back then, but then again, I don't want to sound like a hypocrite. I would appreciate it if you guys would tell me how it is in the comments section below. You're more than welcome to tell me what you liked and disliked about this unboxing, or why in general would a man or someone of my age want to buy something like this in specific. But I mean, whatever floats your boat, you can comment whatever. I honestly don't mind. I'd be happy to answer whatever questions you got, as long as they're not insultive. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this unboxing, and I can't wait to see you next time. And take it easy, especially with what all's going on in the world right now.